Very nicely kept Flagstaff 8526 just coming in here at Haylett RV of Goldwater, Michigan. 8526 is kind of a wacky model number. It doesn't follow normal convention, but it's kind of a classic sort of thing that Flagstaff used to do that they just never quit doing. It kind of stands for an 8-foot wide fifth wheel with a 26-foot floor plan. Kind of makes sense when you think about it, and it's just actually kind of interesting that more brands don't use an easy to follow convention like that. Overall, this thing looks to be very well kept. Couple of real minor blips, but nothing I think to get any level of blood pressure worked up over. The only reason this is here, previous owners, it's had at least 2 previous owners. There's no Carfax for camping, there's no Camp Fax, but it's had at least 2 previous owners, most recent of which only had it for about a year and said, it's a little small to spend 3 months together. We need a little more room. My first impressions when I saw it outside were very positive, and that held up when I stepped inside. It's obvious that this has been well kept and well owned, well maintained. You know, it's been kept clean inside. It was stored in a barn indoors out of the weather when not in use, so the skin is gleaming, the decals aren't peeled and flaky and faded and all that stuff. And this is how you want a used RV to look when you're done with it. This is, the idea behind this floor plan was an attempt to get something, you know, smaller in terms of length to make it a little bit more towing friendly, but still give you decent living space when you get there, which is why you get these opposing slides. One thing they did well here, though, that I think is easy to miss is they did a good job nailing the storage in this one. And in typical Rockwood fashion, they do things to make storage easier to access, like the drawers below the dinette. But if you notice, you see how I opened that pantry up on the right-hand side? Take a look and notice how that's actually contained within the slide-out. That's something Rockwood does. Oh, I'm sorry. This is a Flagstaff. We're a Rockwood dealer, and we used to carry this floor plan in a Rockwood, so it just, you know, I flip gears. They're sister brands, so it's, other than the decals, they're the same thing. Anyway, my point is, they've always been very good about doing that extra thing, adding that extra cabinet into a slide or something, and they gave you all the storage around that entertainment center they possibly could. All the remote controls and everything are still here and present and accounted for. The TV is on a gas strut powered lift, so you don't need to have battery power even to you know, pop that thing up and down. You just lean on it to push it down and push the button, which is actually hidden right there, to lift it up when you want it. So you got windows and light, or you got a TV, or whatever works for you guys. Another thing they're really good about is around seating areas, really giving you the largest windows they possibly could. And where I think it's really key is these windows right here surrounding your chairs, which is where you're going to probably spend the majority of your time. They're over on the camp side of the RV. So these are going to overlook your campsite and not look at your neighbor. And obviously both of these recliners can twist and shout if need be to be able to face that entertainment center. Across from the main kitchen section, this has like a split walk-through kitchen, which is easy to miss at first, but it's actually very functional because when you're standing like at the kitchen sink doing some prep work, everything is effectively wrapped around you, so everything is pretty much just like an arm's length away, maybe one step and then a reach away, but that's about it. So you don't have to go trekking across a lot of areas to get to this, that, or the other thing. That is a stone cast sink, by the way, which is, it looks like a white plastic sink on a video like this. But like if I pop this sink cover off of here and I do the old wedding ring tap test, you can hear that's not plastic. Plastic makes a different sound entirely. And in case you're wondering, you can see all the original manuals here, but that receipt right there is actually for the tires. This has 4 new tires on it, less than a year old. So you got new rubber on, new sneakers on this thing. And I like what I don't know which, but one of the previous owners put this little, it's almost like an indoor-outdoor sort of carpet or throw mat or something like that. But they purposely cut out chunks to kind of fit to size and be very aesthetically pleasing, and then glued them down so that these nice wooden steps weren't going to be slippery if you're only wearing socks, you know. You do have a sliding privacy wall right there to enclose this front bedroom out, but before we get there, quick look in the bathroom. You can see that this has the larger bath vent fan, and that will have a roof vent cover, by the way, to get you some great rainy, well, anytime airflow. And that's another stone cast sink, and that is a big one. That is an actual adult-size sink you can get adult-size hands into and get clean. Tons of floor space in front of that shower and toilet, which means lots of leg room for big people like me. And next to that shower, you have a handy little linen cabinet above. It's not major, but it's up high enough that it's not going to be a head knocker. And I mean, when I'm listening to music, I don't mind being a bit of a headbanger, but not when I'm standing up from the toilet, you know what I mean? You won't have that problem here. But it also means that you won't have to do that naked nudist camp streak through the RV in case you forget a towel. Up front here, we do have a 60 by 80 residential size queen bed. You can easily lift that to get to like a storage chest below the foot. And this is something Rockwood is a little bit ahead of the curve on. You see that step up around the bed? Of course not. There is no step up. They're very good about that, so you don't have that little ankle breaker sort of thing. Big breeze window here in the bedroom. You've got TV hookups on the wall over here, and it does look like someone had installed a TV, so it's very obvious to see where you need to tap into in case you choose to add one. And then over here, you might notice how they don't have a closet on this side. That's because they have a slide-out closet on that side, and it means the bed could not be mounted dead center in the RV. So what they did is they gave you an extra large closet there, plus all the storage in the slide. This also kind of means if you feel a little bit boxed in when you're sleeping next to a cabinet like this, you could always sleep over here where it's a little more open. And this would also be very CPAP friendly, I suppose, since you have that handy stand there. But if you got your normal hanging closet, then you've got all this nice dresser space right in the slide, but don't miss that dresser drawer down below. So you actually have, I don't want to call it 4 dresser drawers because it's one technical drawer, but 4 dresser shelves. And then the extra large hanging storage space right here, ideal for those extended stays. As mentioned previously, the RV was stored inside when not in use. So what that means is that things like your roof membrane, your seals, your skin, your decals, they are much younger than the title age of the RV might traditionally lead you to believe. And you can see all the original gleam and gloss still present on the skin right there. Just past this power awning arm, quick look in the pass-through. This actually has a pretty impressive pass-through storage compartment given the relative small size of the RV. Handy little outside TV hookup there, by the way. And you notice how you have slam latch baggage doors. You'll have those on both side-to-side pass-throughs, as well as the front under gooseneck storage compartment. Another thing that you have here is a Reese Revolution pin box. And what that means is that this has a pivoting pin box to be short bed friendly without the need for a slider hitch. Now this was made before a lot of those 5.5 foot, what I call shorter than short bed trucks were on the market today. So those you may still need specialty hitching. Every truck, trailer, and hitch combination is like a fingerprint. They look pretty similar, but they're all a little different. This has power front leveling jacks, power rear stabilizers, so everything is push button easy. And there's only, like I said, there's a couple little blips that I mentioned. They both are outside here. The first is this baggage door. If I close it, it looks absolutely fantastic. And I almost didn't even open it. I'm glad I did, because I noticed a little bit of waviness on here. And if you pound on it, it's still very solid. So I think what happened, I think this door was left open one time, probably accidentally, and it rained. And you can see how this isn't exactly watertight right there. Well, I think some water worked its way down and got into the interior of the laminated baggage door, but it's completely cosmetic, and frankly, it's a hidden cosmetic flaw, so I mean, it's exceptionally minor. But we shoot people straight, and we advertise everything fairly here at Haylett RV. And if I see something, I say something. There's one little thing by the entry door we're going to look at too, but again, super minor. This has an enclosed underbelly. It does have 12-volt tank heaters as well. And again, remember, 4 new tires on this thing. Now, remember that pantry that was located in the slide out? Well, if it was as deep as the entire slide, it would be very deep. So you see that little baggage door right there in the slide? They kind of split the difference. They give you a chunk of inside, a chunk of outside storage, and it's just another one of those neat little things that this brand does to really maximize your storage potential. This is an all aluminum skeleton, by the way, so you got a steel chassis, but other than that, any of your structural stuff, it's all aluminum. It's kind of one of those things. Even the bed base and the dinette base, anything that Rockwood and or Flagstaff, sister company there, builds, it's going to be all aluminum skeleton. We'll hop up that ladder in just a second. One more thing I mentioned. It looks like at some point, I don't know if it was owner number 1 or 2 or whoever it was, locked themselves out of the camper and must have left the keys somewhere. And it looked like somebody had to jimmy their way into this thing at some point. Again, it doesn't. It's the RV locks normally. Everything works on it. Just a thing that happened. And it's completely minor and cosmetic, doesn't affect the use of the RV whatsoever, but you deserve to know about it, so I'll point it out to you. Man, This roof looks great. And this, I mean, this is really one of the biggest differences between an RV that's been indoor and outdoor kept. This roof looks virtually new. The seals and everything look fantastic. Previous owners, whoever had this before, they had done everything correctly. I can see where some spot touch-ups have been done around what is still the original factory sealant. This is probably going to be fine for a year or two, and then after that, you're going to want to do some probably some peel and sealing. You might be able to get away with a little more spot sealing depending on what it is, but the membrane's been kept clean. It's been kept out of the sun. This is great. And you can see how in addition to the full cover over the bathroom fan, over the living room vent, there's another roof vent cover, so you can have that thing open and flowing. Great for, again, rainy day use, or frankly, just letting some humidity breathe out of the trailer. She looks good, guys. It's small, it's light. I don't think you're not inheriting anyone's problems. It's been well kept. This is our little consignment location here. We sell RVs for folks, but don't let that mess with your head. Whether it's something we own or something that we're selling for folks, we can still do trades. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.